Still lives. Behold, thy son. Behold thy mother.
By the 6th hour, there was darkness over all the land. The 7th hour passed, and the 8th.
My God. My God. Why have you forsaken me?
The moment when Jesus cried out on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me?" is one of the most profound and mysterious moments in the Bible. It is a moment that has left theologians and scholars grappling with its meaning for centuries, and one that continues to challenge and inspire us today. When we consider this moment, there are several important lessons that we can learn about faith, suffering, and the nature of God. Firstly, we can learn about the reality of suffering. Even Jesus, the Son of God, experienced deep and intense suffering on the cross. He was physically beaten, mocked, and humiliated, and ultimately crucified. In this moment, we are reminded that suffering is a universal experience that all of us must face at some point in our lives. But the question arises, if Jesus is the Son of God, why did he have to suffer? The answer lies in the fact that Jesus came to identify with us in our suffering. He took on our human nature and experienced the pain and brokenness of our world in a very real and tangible way. By doing so, he shows us that we are not alone in our suffering and that God is present with us in the midst of our pain. This leads us to the second lesson we can learn: the importance of faith in times of darkness. When Jesus cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" it was a cry of anguish and despair, but it was also a cry of faith. Jesus was quoting from Psalm 22, which begins with these same words but ends with a declaration of trust and praise in God. At this moment, Jesus shows us that even in the midst of our darkest moments, we can hold on to our faith and trust in God. Even when we feel abandoned or alone, we can turn to God and cry out to Him in prayer. We can hold on to the promises of Scripture and the hope of the resurrection, and trust that God is with us, even when we cannot see or feel His presence. Thirdly, we can learn about the nature of God. When Jesus cried out on the cross, it may have appeared to some that God had abandoned him. But in reality, the opposite was true. God was with Jesus in the midst of his suffering, just as he is with us in the midst of ours. The cross is a powerful reminder of God's love and compassion for us, even when we are at our lowest point. This teaches us that God is not distant or aloof, but is intimately involved in our lives. He knows our pain and our struggles, and he cares deeply for us. This can give us comfort and strength, knowing that we have a God who is not only powerful and majestic, but also loving and compassionate. In conclusion, the moment when Jesus cried out on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me?" is a moment that challenges and inspires us to have deeper faith and trust in God. It reminds us that suffering is a universal experience, but that we are not alone in our pain. It teaches us about the importance of faith and the nature of God, and can give us comfort and hope in the midst of our darkest moments. May we learn from this moment, and may it deepen our relationship with God and our love for others. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing and sharing with your loved ones.